Hi everyone, in this video, we're going to discuss on how to speed up your WordPress website on ReadySpace Cloud. Let's get into it. In order to speed up your website, you will need to understand a few components, right? So I'm going to share with you these components that you need to know. In your WordPress, there's a few things that you need to look into and fix them if you want to speed up your site. Now let me list them down. The first thing that you need to do is to look into your WordPress site health. And the second thing you need to look into is WP Toolkit. The third thing you need to look into is LSCache. And the final thing is CDN, which is Content Delivery Network. With these four things set up correctly, you will find that your site will improve its speed by many folds. Let me just write it down. Speed up your WordPress site. Now let's go into the first part of this video. Now, when you first register a domain name and web space plan, you will gain access. You will gain access into cPanel. And once you get into cPanel, this is what you will see. Right now, I'm going to improve the website wordofai.com. Currently, I've already installed Word of AI into the hosting plan. I did that by going into WordPress management. And if you go into WordPress management on the left here, you'll find that it is actually WP Toolkit. If you have not installed WordPress, click on install and you'll be able to install a WordPress website over here. Once installed, you will then be able to access your website through Word of AI/WP admin. Or you can actually click on login over here, the login button. Once you are logged in, you'll be greeted with this panel that looks like this. Where is site health? WordPress site health is actually in tools and then site health. And once you click on site health, you will see that the system, WordPress, is actually searching and checking on the areas to be improved. And in this case, you see that we need to improve quite a number of things. The first thing, which is a critical issue, we need to update the theme itself. And then we have quite a number of modules that we need to enable. All right, in this case, it's actually one, which is Magic. And then we have this scheduled late, which is actually a performance notification. And then we have to enable object cache. And finally, page cache. Yeah, some of these things, as you begin to configure, you'll find that when you configure one, it might solve a few items over here. Let's get into solving the first part, which is to update themes. If you click on the arrow here, you'll find that there's Manage Theme. And over here, we are currently using Thrive Theme Builder. What I need to do is to click on Update and allow it to update itself. As you can see, you might have multiple themes over here. The best practice is to just leave with one default theme and the other, which is the theme that you would like to have. In this case, I chose 2025 default theme from WordPress itself. Now it's updated. Let's get back to tools and site health and see what is the latest update. Right. So again, it is loading and finding out what are the issues that we need to fix. Earlier, you can see that it is not in good status. Right now, at least you'll find that it is back into good status. Next thing that we need to fix is really to enable this module, which is Magic. Where do we find this? You got to enable it in cPanel. Let's go to cPanel. Once you get into cPanel, go to Tools, and then scroll down, and you'll find PHP Selector over here. Click on PHP Selector. Now, the extension earlier is actually a PHP extension. As you can see, we are actually enabled with a number of extension already, but we need to enable this in Magic here. Let's click on it. We skip as there's a conflict. What is the conflict? Well, we have to find out where is the conflict, and then we got to fix that conflict. What is conflicting? A Magic PHP extension. It could be gMagick. Let's see if there's a gMagick enabled. It is being enabled. So let's disable it. Okay, and then let's enable eMagick. All right, you can see that the module eMagick is being saved and now it's working. What we can do is go back to site health. Again, click on site health and wait for the result to appear. All right, so you can see that the earlier issue, recommended improvement, is being removed or disappeared, right? Next, we will get to fix persistent object cache. Now, for persistence object cache, there are two areas that we need to get into. First will be the PHP extension. We're going to make sure that object cache is being enabled. This is the one. And we got to ensure, be sure that Redis, okay, which is the object cache, is also enabled. So in this case, both of them are already enabled. The next thing that we need to do is to go into Lightspeed. You can see that the object cache is being enabled. We go to cache, all right? And you can see that it's already enabled, but we need to go into object. Wow, these are all being enabled and passed. What exactly is the issue? Let's go to Toolbox and debug. So you can see that why that's happening is because the debug setting. What happened is over here, I have clicked on previously. This means that the object cache is disabled. All right, what I need to do is off and save setting. Now, why did I enable on for disable all features? That's because I would like to update our website. The best practice when doing updates of your website is to off all caching so that the latest version of the updated website will appear and so that you are able to do your own troubleshooting easier and faster. Now that I have already off this setting, which is disable all features, let's get into the site health again. I look forward to a smiley face. Now, this is the exact screen that we should look for in order to have the best site health in WordPress. Since we have already done the site health, let's look at what we should be doing next. Next, we have to get into WP Toolkit and ensure security and the right settings are being done. Let's get into it. Now, for WordPress site health, we have already fixed everything and we have achieved the smiley face. Next, let's go into WP Toolkit. To get into WP Toolkit, we have to click on the left menu, WordPress Management. Over here, what are the things that we need to do and ensure that it's all being set up correctly? First, we got to install theme updates. Now, earlier we have already installed that. It seems like this is not on the latest update. What we're going to do is we're going to refresh WP Toolkit so that it will take the latest information and the status of our website. Cool, look at this. Now we have everything up to date. The themes are up to date and security measures are applied. Just in case you are not seeing this, click onto it, all right? And then check on everything here and click secure. As you can see that there are some of the status that are not updated, not on secure status. This means not secure status. This tick over here with a circle, it means it's secure status. I'm surprised on why earlier we see that it is secure, but it doesn't matter. We're going to do it right now. Now we can see that after I check on every single items here and click secure. Now we are secure. Let's get back to all security. Yeah, you can see all security measures are applied. Yeah, now I understand why. Because previously it was not this message. Over here, you might see that there's SSL and it is also being enabled. If you don't see this, click on it and enable SSL itself. Now, the next thing that you might want to do is to backup. Click on backup and create a backup so that you are able to recover it if you have done some editing that are not as desired as what you would like to be. Backup will take some time, right? What we're going to do is to skip this portion. That's all for this part of setup to speed up your site. If you would like to increase your speed, another way is to enable hot link protection. But however, for me, I prefer not to, because our website is new, there isn't a need to protect hot link. Now, hot link is a feature where you disallow someone else to use and link to your pictures, your images from your website. Yeah, because if they take your images and place it in their website, you'll find that the loading time will actually be slowed down because you're also loading for another website. Now let's go to the next thing that we should be looking into. We have done the first, which is the site health. We have done WP Toolkit. Next thing that we want to do and ensure is that we enable LSCache. Let's get into LSCache. Earlier, we have done something. We have done a configuration in LSCache. We have checked the object cache. Now let's get into Lightspeed again and its dashboard. This is what it looks like when LSCache is being enabled. At ReadySpace, all our web space plans comes with LSCache. What you need to do is to enable automatically update. And also, if you like, you can enable guest mode as well. And in this case, we should also add on the server IP. Now, to get into the server IP, we have to go back to cPanel under Tools, and then you can see that there's this IP over here. This is actually the server IP of the website. Let's add, copy and paste into it. Save. Cool. So once it's saved, we can see that the preset is enabled, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to ensure that this LSCache cache preset is being enabled. So let's apply the preset. All right. Let's go to the next option. We can see that it's all enabled except for the CDN, which we will do it later. We have enabled cache. We have not enabled CDN, which is what we're going to do next. Image optimization, right? We can send optimization requests if it is not done. And then page optimization, database optimization, right? Ensure that your database table engineer converter, this is the status. We are good. No table uses MYISAM. If you see a list of tables here that are MYISAM, what you need to do is to change it. There will be option here that you'll be able to change into InnoDB. The crawler over here, it should be enabled. Let's check. Okay, if it's not enabled, you can enable it and put the server load to 5. Next, you might want to put in your custom site map. And where to find this? There is actually a tool over here, Rank Math. This is a tool that I've downloaded, which is free. You can download it freely. And you can find sitemap settings over here. Click on sitemap settings, and you can see that this is the sitemap. Copy it, and then go back to LSCache. Click on crawler, and paste over here, and save. Now, finally, toolbox. Okay, and make sure that debug setting is off. And for a live site, okay, if you are still developing the site, you might want to on this debug setting itself. Now, we have gone through site health, we've gone through WP Toolkit, and we have also gone through LSCache. The next thing we want to do is to enable CDN. Let's get to that. To enable CDN, we need to enable it through Lightspeed Cache. As you can see that if you click on Lightspeed Cache, you can click on CDN. And once you are in there, you'll find that there is a big, huge button over here to enable Quick Cloud CDN. Click on Quick Cloud CDN, and then it will ask, we will be asked, okay, to log in. Okay, but it is new. This is a new account, so we do not have any login over here. Create the account and follow the instructions, after which you'll be able to connect your domain name to what, in this case, which is Word of AI, to the hosting service. And of course, the status would then be changed to enable. These are a few simple steps that you will need to use, that you will need to do in order to speed up your website. And it is also a very, very necessary steps. Right? If you have any questions, as this is a very brief video and overview, if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the comments, and I'll be happy to reply these comments. I'll see you around in the next video.